morning, everyone. This is David Hall, along with my internal wholesaler counterpart, Andrew Gabriel. Excited to be on today's Wealthmax bonus call with everybody. It's currently 10 o'clock Central Time. We've got a large group joining us for today's webinar, so we're going to pause here for about 30 seconds or so, give everybody a little bit more time to get settled in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alrighty, again, good morning, everyone. This is David Hall, along with one of my internal wholesaler counterparts, Andrew Gabriel. Andrew and I will be co-hosting today's Wealthmax bonus webinar. Today's primary focus on today's webinar is going to be using the illustrations to help boost your sales. Obviously, with this being a live product, the illustration goes quite a long ways in being able to help make that sale. A couple of things just I wanted to mention here at the very beginning. We're recording today's webinar presentation, so we'll make it available for replay out on the agent website, typically by the end of business today. By all means, if you have any questions, feel free to type those into the questions box. They're on the control panel, and then Andrew and I will go at the end, and we'll get those questions answered for you. And we figured today our time together will probably be about 20 to 25 minutes in length. So, with that, we'll definitely go ahead and get started. One thing I wanted to mention up front, I've been with Equitrust for almost 6 years. We had the Wealthmax bonus available at the time that I came on, and it's great to be able to bring the product back and bring it really back with a vengeance, as we're kind of calling it. There's lots of great features and benefits that we had on the original Wealthmax bonus that we're bringing back, but we've even made some enhancements to make the product even more attractive, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit more about today. How does the product work? What are the sales opportunities out there? Let's take a look at the microsite, and then we're actually going to look at an actual illustration itself and kind of point out some of the key features and the key selling points within the illustration itself to allow you to be able to be successful to sell this product. A little bit about the product specifics as we kind of get started here. With this being a life product too, keep in mind there is no product training that has to be completed prior to writing this, since it's not an annuity product, so that's always a great thing. This is a 10-year surrender charge period, so 10-year chassis on the surrender charge period schedule. Minimum premium is $10,000. It is a single premium product, so the maximum is $1 million face amount per client. An easy way to solve for the amount of premium that you can put into the Wealthmax bonus to get up to the $1 million face amount is being able to utilize the quick calculator on the microsite. You can plug in the client's age, tobacco, non-tobacco, and then you can figure out how much premium you could put in to get up to the $1 million maximum face amount. Issue ages are going to be 45 to 80. A couple of big features and benefits here are the next three. 12% premium bonus up front. So client puts in a premium of $100,000 a day. This policy gets issued. It's now going to be worth $112,000. So an immediate 12% bonus up front day one when it gets issued. The return of premium is definitely a big selling point on the Wealthmax bonus, simply because you think a lot of clients who have money sitting on the sidelines, they typically like to be able to have access to it for whatever reason. They may never need the money, but being able to have access to it is extremely important to them. And so with the return of premium on the Wealthmax bonus, we're able to kind of overcome that concern that the client has. And with the return of premium, the client can access that at any point in time. There's no waiting period at all. And it simply allows the client to get back the premium that they put into the contract minus any withdrawals they may previously have taken out. So a very strong liquidity feature in the Wealthmax bonus. There are accelerated death benefit riders that are built into the Wealthmax bonus, and this allows the client the ability to tap into the death benefit amount for a variety of different reasons, health-related, should they need those funds or that money to be able to help offset some potential expenses or costs that they may be incurring. You can see there, strong street-level commission, 45 to 75 pays 10%. 76 to 80 pays a 7% commission. So these are the product specs. Very simple, very straightforward when you're looking at the Wealthmax bonus, just kind of laying the basic groundwork on the product. This product definitely has some great index options within it as well, including a fixed account. Here you're able to see, you currently have a fixed account paying at 5%. There are three S&P 500 options, and then there are at the bottom of the page three different volatility control options. Working from the bottom up, the S&P Mark 5, the Barclays Focus 50, and then our newest low volatility control option, which is a 15% low volatility option that rebalances up to several times on a daily basis, is the S&P 500 Dynamic Intraday. And the thought process behind the Dynamic Intraday is it's going to very closely mirror the ups and downs of the actual S&P 500 itself. So it's really nice to be able to offer an index option that is really going to so closely mirror the actual true S&P performance. And we get a lot of questions. What's the best option? We preach the diversification story. We see a lot of business come in where maybe 50% of the money goes into the fixed account, 50% of the money goes into just the very traditional S&P 500 point-to-point with a cap strategy. Just know that you can always reallocate the money on the contract anniversary, so you will have a lot of flexibility with regards to the index options, including the fixed account, each year that you and the client are able to utilize. So let's talk a little bit more about the accelerated death benefit rider. I do believe, and I know Andrew would agree, as we're having conversations with producers out there in the field, this is a big selling point within the Wealthmax bonus. So you have the terminal illness benefit, nursing care confinement, and then the chronic care benefit. And these are automatically included into the policy with a one-time $250 fee at the time of claim. Basically, the way each of these three work is the terminal illness benefit. And for somebody to exercise the terminal illness benefit, they have to have a life expectancy of 12 months or less. That then allows the client to take the death benefit as a lump sum with a 95% factor if they're diagnosed with being terminally ill. The nursing care confinement is qualification for that is client is being confined to a nursing care facility for at least 90 consecutive days, and it's expected to remain a permanent confinement. They can a couple of options exist here as far as the payout goes of the death benefit. They can either take monthly payments over a 36-month period of time, or they could take a lump sum of 85% of the death benefit as a one-time payout. And then just keep in mind, with the state of California, the nursing care confinement accelerated death benefit rider is not available. Lastly is the chronic care benefit. This one's very simple. It's the inability to complete 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. A couple of options here, again, that exist as far as the payout goes. The client can take 100% of the death benefit on a monthly basis and have those paid out over a 60-month period of time, or they could take a one-time lump sum payment and then have and receive 75% of the death benefit. So it's great to be able to have 3 different accelerated death benefit riders built into the Wealthmax bonus for some of those what-if scenarios that potentially may come up as the client gets older and needs to be able to get access to the money. Andrew, we launched, and this is one of the new features that we've incorporated into the Wealthmax bonus that we never had before, and that's the longevity benefit. Would you talk a little bit more about that and kind of explain to everybody how it works?
Yeah, thank you, David. Longevity benefit is something new to the Wealthmax product, which is really exciting because, like we talked about, the client wants to have a lot of access to their funds, whether it's a terminal illness, nursing care, or chronic care. And here's another option for the longevity benefit included at no charge. As you can see here, it has to be enforced for a minimum of 15 years. The insured age is 85 or higher, and no withdrawals or loans can be made prior to that in order to be able to use this longevity benefit. So with that said, the payments, like David talked about with the other accelerated death benefits, this one will equal the death benefit at the time divided by 60, which is 60 months, and they can have that a monthly payment for up to 5 years. Payments may be stopped at any time there, but then that will be, once again, terminated at the time that they stop that for the accelerated death benefit, for the longevity benefit. It's just a one-time access to that. So that's a great option there that we've added here recently, just to give, like I said, some more access for the client, and for the agent too, to be able to sell. There's some other competitors out there that may not have this, and this is definitely something that clients like to, at older ages, whether it's, they're getting up in that age where they need long-term care, if they don't want to use the chronic illness for a discounted rate, they can use this longevity at that age if they're still, alive and kicking there for sure. So now I wanted to talk about the commission special. David talked about the 45 to 75 is at 10%, and the 76 to 80 is currently at 7%. But all applications received through 12/31 by 5 p.m. Central Time, that is, applications received, as you can see, will get an extra 1% bump on the commission. So that's very exciting, and just makes, I'm sure you want to sell more of this product for sure. And that's at all issue ages and on all commission options A, B, and C. Sales opportunities. There's a lot of different people that have analogies for this type of product. We call it a Swiss Army knife. You could call it a 5-tool player, like a baseball player too, whatever you want to call it. But the Swiss Army knife's got a lot of different things in there to access to be able to survive. And that's kind of exactly what this life insurance product. You've got a tax-free benefit. You've got accumulation value, cash growth. You get that 12% bonus on there as well, initially right away. You do have the return of premium on there. So that's an exciting thing. Once again, like he said, you can get access to all of your principal minus any withdrawals at any time during that 10-year surrender. The accelerated death benefit riders again, and then the longevity benefit are able to meet, those financial situations over a client's lifetime. And then, like I said, these are free riders and benefits at no additional charge, as you can see here, that you are able to access when, the client does have health complications arise. Like I said, at the end of the day, the sales opportunities and how we use this and where can we find money to be able to put into this. And I think the one thing that we talk about also in the sales opportunities, like it's explained, is the premium bonus. The underwriting is a great new thing that we do have to offer. The Wealthmax used to be a phone interview. Now this is a quick and simple, easy way to underwrite. There's about 20 to 25 questions within the Firelight where you answer those, and within about a minute, you're actually gonna get a response back, whether they're approved or denied. So that's amazing there. There is no additional blood, medical records or anything to that extent. You're just answering those questions. There are pre-qualification questions out there on the microsite that we can go over and show you here in just a moment, so you can go over that. But the nice thing with underwriting too is that if they do get denied, we're not going to penalize them. We're not going to submit anything to MIB, which is huge, because then if they want to go on and try to underwrite somewhere else, they're not going to be penalized for the actual underwritten process here. You've got the single premium, and it will not lapse. Clients don't have to worry about missing payments there. And also, you got the index life product. I always kind of compare this to an example of an index annuity. With that chronic or with the terminal illness, and then you also have the nursing care confinement. So this is very like a look and a feel of an index annuity with the index options here that you do have to offer on the life insurance product. With that said, we were talking about sales opportunities, and where do you see people that have money to be able to access this? What's the opportunity here, right? Well, we're looking at wealth transfer for clients, right, that have CD, money market accounts, cash sitting on the sidelines, that dusty money, so to speak. Looking for that. Maybe clients have life insurance policies that have a low cash value. Here's a great opportunity to be able to 1035 them into that. Also, you could look at many different variety of options. Like I said, just with cash itself, there's $84 trillion that is going to be coming down the pipeline here in the next 20 years to be distributed to the heirs. So a lot of money and a lot of access to wealth transfer that we have for this product. So now, talking about the Wealthmax Bonus Life microsite, David's going to pull up the website here, and we'll go over the website a little bit more and show you what the microsite looks like. So this kind of looks like, this looks like now when you log into the actual agent website, you have all of your sales tool products and all of that over here. What you'll want to do is click on the microsite over here that says, click down and it says Wealthmax Bonus Life. And this is the page that pulls up, and you do everything here from writing an application to running illustrations to actual marketing materials. And we'll scroll down here and show you some of the items that makes this a beautiful way to learn about the product, definitely going through it. And then when you do have questions, just giving us a call and we can answer those in any way, shape, or form. So with that said, we have a nice little video here, a 2-minute video, what is Wealthmax? So it just goes over the different benefits, the living benefits, for certain medical expenses, and the accumulation for potential upside and obviously the downside risk as well. Simplified underwriting just goes over the accelerated death benefit rider, return of premium, and longevity benefit and guarantees. Going through, and you can click on these different ones and it'll take you right to that and explain to you what the different things are. Now, if you go to Right Now Underwriting, like I was explaining, this is a video that shows how easy it is to do the underwriting. Now, if they were ever to get denied for underwriting, the nice thing is we do have an in-house underwriter here, which is huge, because if you feel like, there's something that you want to, attest to, they can definitely look at it and see if it's a potential to where they can approve it at that time. Here's the marketing materials. I love this for the simple fact that, you have your agent guide out here that goes through everything on the actual Wealthmax itself. This is a nice little piece here, Life Quick Facts, that does give you the payoff factors. So we are based upon tobacco, non-tobacco, age, and sex of the male or female. And so that's the only thing. There is no other type of rating or anything like that. It does go into some other advantages on the flyers. We have the underwriting guide here. And that's what I was talking about before, was the pre-qualification question. So you can come out here, take a look at this and see, and just see if anything's answered yes, more than likely they would be denied. So you could go out here, instead of wanting to go through underwriting, if you didn't want to go through that process, you can go through these pre-qualification questions. Here's a nice little flow chart, and then you've got your longevity benefit flyer as well. And then also we do have per each state, we're going to have what is approved for the client, so you can send them something client approved. You've got your different rates and state approvals here. You've got California here that shows approved variations, which means that one was didn't have the nursing care confinement. It's not approved in New York, but all the other states, it is approved. Now, David was talking about the quick calculator here. This is a great opportunity to just look at something very quick and easy. So obviously, let's say age 55, and they're male, and we have a non-tobacco. And I know David had mentioned, it's $1 million face value. We can actually click on the guaranteed death benefit and put in $1 million, and then that will give you how much they need a premium in order to get $1 million guaranteed death benefit. So that is amazing there. It doesn't take much at all whatsoever. But now what I want to do is I want to go into the illustrations here and show you how easy that is as well. So I'm going to click on the illustrations. We'll go through that, and then David, what he'll do is explain to you a little bit more of how we go through the actual illustration, all of that. So if you want to show them now, David, how easy it is on the illustration, and then kind of go through the illustration pages and show them how easy it is.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Appreciate it, Andrew. A lot of great information there. So, I mean, as Andrew said, easy to access the illustration software. You'll have to obviously be logged in to be able to access the illustration software, but you can see it's super simple to be able to run an illustration. You'll be able to see that we'll have this illustration ran literally within a couple of minutes. So we're just going to put some basic information out here. Valued agent, let's just say we're in the state of Kansas. Flip her over to the client tab. Again, we'll just stick with valued client for this one. And we'll say it's a 65-year-old male. Product, of course, it's automatically going to default to the Wealthmax bonus. Premium tab, we're just going to set it at $100,000 for this illustration. Up here, you've got tobacco, non-tobacco. We're just going to assume this is a non-tobacco user. Nice here because you're seeing right away $100,000 premium going in. Here's what the face amount is. You got your nursing care benefit, chronic care benefit. Those are already all being calculated, which is great. And then down here, you can actually pick and select how you'd like the illustration to show as far as the fixed account and or the index options. For this particular example, just for simplicity, I'm going to put 100% of the premium into the S&P 500 annual point-to-point with a cap option, which, if you remember, currently has a 10% cap. You can, just off a side note, you can put in a specified rate if you'd want to have a lower specified rate than which is allowed within the illustration itself. And then also, if the premium is coming via a 1035 exchange, maybe the old policy was a non-MEC, then you could always check those appropriate boxes. And those are obviously just going to be a kind of a one-off scenario, depending upon the case and the details that you're working on. So you can see here we've got our premium tab all filled out and ready to go. The summary tab is exactly what it is. I'll open up a sample full illustration here in a second. And then when you get to the last tab, the illustration tab, there's a couple of different supplements that you can add into the illustration itself. The charge supplement's automatically going to be included. The life expectancy snapshot, which I'll talk a little bit more about here in a second. And then there's even a cool one about legacy planning as well. So you can add in, any optional supplements that you want to be able to add. And then you click your view illustration box. That is all there is to running an illustration. I mean, you can tell we've basically done this in a matter of a couple of minutes. Now, if we kind of look at what does an illustration look like as far as the detail goes. So this is the actual page 2 of the actual illustration itself. Just kind of covers the basic details as far as the data inputs that we've done for this particular client. As we kind of scroll through the illustration, you'll start with your narrative summary. You'll get a lot of the general policy descriptions and definitions. Continue to go down, it'll talk more about some of the features and benefits. How does the return of premium rider work, loans, withdrawals, things like that, kind of covers all the basics behind that. And then as we kind of continue to scroll on, it'll talk more about just the kind of what we're going to see here in a second with the tabular detail as far as the guaranteed numbers, the alternative, and then the non-guaranteed. And kind of just really, all of this really lays the groundwork for what you're then going to see here in a second as I kind of scroll through this once we get to the tabular detail section. Here on page 7, it's nice. It does show what buckets we have the money allocated into, what the illustrated rates would be, which is nice to be able to see those. Here we've got the breakdown for terminal illness, nursing care confinement, and chronic care. So that's already all being calculated right there. But let's jump a little bit further ahead, kind of really into the meat of what we're really wanting to cover. And that, I believe, is really here on page 11, the tabular detail. We're talking about, and the purpose of this webinar is to, what are the key selling points within the illustration itself? How are other producers positioning the illustration to have the most success when they're in front of a client? In my experience, having dealt with this type of a product for many years, Selling off of the guarantees is really where you're going to be able to capture the client's interest because you're truly providing guarantees. There's not a lot of what if scenarios. What you see is what you're going to be able to get. And being able to illustrate and sell off of the guaranteed values column is really going to be very, very important because clients who are purchasing the Wealthmax bonus are typically going to be conservative. They're going to like and they're going to want guarantees. And so if you look here, we've got a premium of 100,000 going in, the 12% bonus, so a $12,000 premium bonus. We've got an initial face amount of 165,000. You can kind of just see the detail here as far as the guaranteed, the alternative, kind of a little bit more middle of the road, and then the non-guaranteed numbers. And the non-guaranteed numbers are simply going to be what they are. They're non-guaranteed numbers, more so driven off of how does the performance within the S&P 500 annual point to point with a cap option impact like the accumulation value, the cash surrender value, different things like that. So kind of those what if scenarios. If the S&P performs well, or we have some good years and maybe some not so good years, what that accumulation value could potentially grow and increase to. As we kind of move on, you've got some actuarial guideline type pieces, but what I really wanted to focus on here, where I think you're going to have so much of the success selling the Wealthmax bonus, is right here. This particular page 16, the power of guarantees. It covers really the main selling points on the Wealthmax bonus itself. First and foremost, we're talking about the guarantees if you need your money back, that return of premium feature. 100,000 going in today, client can always exercise that return of premium feature at any point in time, get back the 100,000 that they put in. What about if I need care or benefits to tap into the death benefit for health-related events? Well, we've got it covered with the nursing care benefit. Here's what you could get: lump sum or monthly. Chronic care illness benefit, monthly versus lump sum, what that payout would look like, and then the terminal illness benefit lump sum. So we've got those what if something happens to me in my remaining years covered. And then lastly, as Andrew had mentioned a couple of different times, this product is built for wealth transfer. Guarantees upon your death. What is the guaranteed death benefit that would be paid out to your beneficiaries in the event that you would pass away? So really, we're covering the three main spectrums within the Wealthmax bonus, the three main items that the client's really going to be focused and honed in on when they're looking at the Wealthmax bonus as an alternative to some other lazy or dusty money that they've got out there. And then the life expectancy snapshot, similar in nature, again, a supplement to the illustration, but this kind of runs it out more so long term. Again, this is a male who's age 65, life expectancy at age 87, shows what the cash value benefit ultimately potentially would grow to, what those living benefits are going to look like. And again, these obviously are going to look a lot better simply because of the ability to have the death benefit growing. And then again, the death benefit itself, what would potentially be able to be passed on to my beneficiaries in the event that I would in the event that I would pass away. So I think if you focus on these main things within the illustration itself, you will have a lot of success. Selling on the guarantees within the Wealthmax bonus is really the key point here. As we kind of wrap up here, so we've talked about the micro site. Andrew and I really appreciate everybody's time and being on the call today. We've dropped in the sales desk contact information there, 866-598-3694, and then also the email address if it's easier just to drop an email. That's great, sales.support@equitrust.com. And then just make sure you bookmark the Agent Gateway website so you can easily access the website for really anything and everything in doing business with Equitrust. And that's agents.equitrust.com. So we're right at about 30 minutes. We promised you right about this time frame. Andrew and I are going to take a look at the questions box here. And the great thing is, it looks like we've got some questions in here. So let's take a peek and go through some of these. I'll take the first one. So are 1035 exchanges acceptable? Absolutely. This is a great source of funds. Just like Andrew had mentioned, you've got an old life policy, maybe you wanted to do a 1035 exchange into the Wealthmax bonus, you could absolutely look at doing a 1035 exchange. No, a person does not need to have a Series 6 to be able to offer this type of a product. It is an insurance product, so you simply would need to have your life license to be able to offer and sell the Wealthmax bonus. And then keep in mind, I'd mentioned too, remember, no product training is required on the Wealthmax bonus because this is a life product. Let's take a look here. We're kind of skimming through everything. Some questions in here about just the living benefits and how it can be accessed, taxation, different things like that. You know, as I kind of skim through some of these, you can either take the living benefit, whether it's terminal illness, nursing care, chronic care, either as 100% spread out over a period of time or a percentage in a lump sum. And so basically, if you're taking a percentage as a lump sum, there could be potentially a little bit left as far as a residual death benefit value goes. Copies of illustrations, a good question here. You know, there is, when you're going through the Firelight e-application, it'll ask, did you leave a copy of the illustration with the client, yes or no? I can tell you that the state of Pennsylvania, for those of you who write in Pennsylvania, does require a copy of the illustration to be used and left. So hopefully that kind of answers that question there. Does the client need to be in office, or can application be over the phone?
So that I'll fill in on that one. That, you know, I love this one just for the simple fact that, you know, agents could bring a client in, say, for an hour, right? An hour time frame. And you could actually, you know, this application is all done on that microsite. So what the beautiful thing about that is you go into the application, you're actually going to go and do the underwriting questions first. They're going to sign a page, and then they're going to go through those 20, 25 questions and answer them. And then, like I explained before, is they're actually going to have a return within about a minute that you'll get approval or denial. And if they do get an approval, which is huge for the simple fact that you can move on to the application then. Within that hour, you can get the underwriting and the application done in that hour and submit it and be done with it. So that's amazing from that standpoint. There's no, you know, doing a phone interview and then coming back into the office again to do the application and all of that. You can do it all in one sitting.
That's a great point, and very well, you know, as far as how you can kind of go about this with regards to the sales process goes. You know, we've got some other questions out here, just kind of skimming through some of these, and please keep in mind, your internal wholesaler will be following up with you in the next 24 to 48 hours as well. To just kind of have a chat one-on-one off to the side. We can always answer some of these questions that we might not be able to get to, time permitting. Just wanted to answer one here, a quick one about commissions calculated. It's based upon the client's age when we receive the application. And then, of course, you know, there is the potential if, you know, the client has a birthday that's teetering right on that line, you know, commissions would be impacted if they, say, turned 76 before, you know, before the contract is issued. With that, you know, we've got, I really appreciate the interaction with everybody and a lot of the questions out there. Again, you know, you can expect a phone call from your internal wholesaler either today or tomorrow. They'll be able to go over additional questions, kind of work with you off to the side, one-on-one, kind of go through the details on the product and, you know, answer any other questions that you might have about the product. So, you know, with that, we definitely respect everybody's time. Appreciate, you know, everybody, you know, taking the time to join us today and the engagement with everybody on the call. You know, questions, please, again, reach out to the sales desk, 866-598-3694. So with that, we wanted to say thank you for everybody's time and business with us. If you need anything else, just please reach out and let us know.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody have a great day.